Hello Eastern and welcome to this spooky edition of ETV News. It's October 25th and I'm Jackie Moon.
And I'm Alexi Muniz. Thank you so much for joining us.
Health science researchers at Eastern Connecticut State University analyzed the biomechanics of the baseball pitch this weekend using pitchers from Eastern's very own baseball team as study subjects. The study was led by health science professor Paul Canavan, visiting biomechanical engineer Nicholas Yang and Eastern students Christina Goslin and Ashley Kennison. Using high-speed cameras, a radar gun, and a motion capture suit worn by the study subjects, researchers were able to analyze the minute movements that happen during a baseball pitch. This study provided an opportunity for undergraduates in Eastern's health science program to participate in practical research.
Mitchell Doucette, an assistant professor in health sciences at Eastern Connecticut State University, was a part of a research team recognized by the American Journal of Public Health for having one of the best papers of 2018. Doucette's research study was selected for the Journal Editor Choice Awards. His research explored the factors that influence firearm storage among gun owners. The American Journal of Public Health is dedicated to the publication of original work in research, research methods, and program evaluation in the field of public health. December 2018 issue will include a column about the winning publications, which will feature Doucette and his innovative research.
The National Academic Advising Association recently presented the Certificate of Merit for being an outstanding academic advisor in a faculty role to Anita Lee, professor of health sciences at Eastern Connecticut State University. In addition to her teaching and faculty responsibilities, she has served as special assistant to the Dean of the School of Education and Professional Studies and co-established the Student Excellence and Persistence System to promote student success. NACADA has grown to more than 10,000 members, consisting of faculty professional advisors, administrators, and counselors.
Eastern Connecticut State University is one of the most environmentally responsible colleges of 2018, according to the Princeton Review. Eastern is listed in the review's recent edition of Guide to 399 Green Colleges, published on October 16th. This is the 9th year in a row that Eastern has made the list. Schools were selected based on a survey that measured more than 25 data points related to sustainability, practices, and policies. Eastern is home to many environmentally friendly buildings, including the recently reopened Communications Building, which now meets the high-performance building standards set by the state of Connecticut. Such standards include utilizing recyclable materials for the portion of construction, as well as materials sourced within 500 miles of the worksite. Other improvements have been made around campus in the area of water and energy conservation. The Green Theme Housing community here at Eastern, located in Nutmeg Hall, allows environmentally minded students to live together and participate in activities related to going green and sustainability.
With Halloween just around the corner, ETV News reporter Cameron Schultz traveled to the Student Center to ask people what their plans are for the annual holiday.
Hello, I'm Cameron Schultz, and with spooky season upon us, I came to the Student Center to see if students are excited about Halloween. Are you dressing up for Halloween?
Yes, I am.
What are you going to be?
I still don't know, but I am going to dress up.
Okay.
I'm going to be a Mormon from the Book of Mormon, just like sing at people's doorsteps and say, hello, my name is, and just try to get my brother candy.
An elephant.
A vampire, but not just a vampire, a noble vampire. It's like a high-class vampire.
What's your favorite Halloween tradition?
Apple cider from the cider mill back in my hometown. We decorate our house and carve pumpkin and bake the pumpkin seeds.
Well, I guess I like to carve jack-o'-lanterns with my dad.
Staying up all night on Devil's Nights and trying to catch the kids who TP my streets.
Toss up between dressing up and trick-or-treating.
Every year, my family would just carve pumpkins, do a different design every year.
What's your favorite movie to watch around Halloween?
Ooh, my favorite movie would have to be, can't remember, Jeepers Creepers.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Coraline. I love Coraline.
Definitely Nightmare Before Christmas.
Probably gonna have to be Halloween Town.
As you can see, students are in the Halloween spirit with all their traditions, costumes, and movies. For ETV News, I'm Cameron Schultz.
Thanks, Cam. Aspiring college students and their families are invited to Eastern on October 28th for FAFSA Day from 1 to 4 p.m. in Webb Hall, room 410. FAFSA Day is a free service offered by Eastern's Financial Aid Office and is open to prospective and current students. Students and families can also obtain information about this program at www.easternct.edu/finaid.
On October 31st at 3 p.m. in the Student Center's Betty Tipton Room, internationally acclaimed author and activist Winona LaDuke will lead a talk titled A Native Perspective, Sustaining Our Land, Recovering the Sacred. Her talk will explore how indigenous understandings of land, religion, and sacredness influence strategies for a sustainable environment. LaDuke is the executive director of Honor the Earth, a nonprofit organization that raises awareness and financial support for indigenous environmental justice. The organization recently played an active role in the Dakota Access Pipeline protests. This event is free and open to the public. 195 E-Club Hall of Fame.
Eastern's annual E-Club Hall of Fame induction ceremony took place this past weekend. ETV News reporter Kyle Smith takes us to the Betty Tipton Room to capture the meaning of this ceremony.
Here in the Betty Tipton Room, we have students, athletes, and coaches meeting for this year's E-Club Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
To kick off our 25th induction ceremony.
In attendance, there were 5 inductees, their guests, current athlete representatives, and former Hall of Fame inductees. Both coaches and athletes are eligible to be inducted. However, this year's ceremony consisted of athletes only.
To be chosen, you need to get 80% of the vote of the committee, and there's anywhere from 10 to 12 people on the committee.
Of the inductees, Sarah Barber has been the most dominant distant freestyler in the 22-year history of the Eastern's women's swimming program, and finds this moment to be...
It's one of the best feelings ever. Like, I wasn't expecting this anytime soon. I was expecting a couple years down the road, so I got that call from Smitty, and it was super excitement.
Some of her most notable achievements would include 8 New England Intercollegiate Swimming and Diving Association championships and 5 total Little East Conference championships.
Just dedication, hard work, you put in the effort, and however much effort you put into it is what you get out of it. So I still hold a pool record up at Bentley College, so that's still near and dear to me, so that's awesome. And then winning the K. Frommer Award my senior year.
Stephanie Altman, inducted for women's lacrosse, started all 62 possible matches in her career and was the first women's lacrosse player to score over 200 career goals. In her acceptance speech, Stephanie went on to say,
"That is what sports offers to athletes, a sense of belonging, a sense of camaraderie, and it can create lasting, enduring friendships that go beyond the field."
Jennifer Butts, an all-New England athlete in 2 distinctively different sports, was dominant in both volleyball and track. She received recognition for her hard work as a right-side hitter and as a shot-put thrower in both indoor and outdoor field events.
Then I came here and learned what the hammer was, and then I learned what the indoor throw was, and I fell in love. The other people I need to thank are Michelle Cunningham, Sweet, Ellie, my teammates that are here. I could not even remotely come close to any accomplishments without them.
In recognition for his amazing run in the 1998 playoffs, Scott Serwinski was well-deserved of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. During that 3-week span, Scott won 4 games, posting a 2.17 ERA in 29 innings, giving up only 3 base hits.
When you play at this level and play in a program like this and have the ability to play together for one season, we made a ton of memories, and it's something that I'll always cherish. So I'm grateful to Eastern for helping that come true.
Scott sealed the Warriors' 3rd national championship with 7 shutout innings in a 16-1 rout of Montclair State in the national championship game.
It's kind of a reward for obviously not only a good career, but a lot of effort, time. I got to play in a great program here. I got to play for a great coach. So it just means a lot to be included in that group.
The final inductee, Edwin Ortiz, had a massive impact on Eastern's men's basketball program. From a wing guard to a point guard in his senior season, Ortiz never missed a game his entire collegiate career, averaging 13 points a game.
Thank you guys very much. the club committee for even, giving me this honor here.
But in the end, each speech had a common theme to close the night.
I want to thank my family.
My parents, Brian and Laura, no matter what I wanted to do, they supported me.
And the head chair of the Hall of Fame, Scott Smith, thinks.
We feel that the bar for the Eastern Hall of Fame is pretty high, and we want to keep it there.
Every year, the induction ceremony proves to be a pivotal moment for the individuals of the Eastern athletic community. For ETV News, this is Kyle Smith reporting.
Thanks, Kyle. The event looked very special for everyone in attendance. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Megan Brooks will be here with this week's editorial. Stay with us.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Hello Eastern, I'm Megan Brooks with this week's editorial. Halloween is quickly approaching, which means students are trying to figure out what costumes to choose. While everyone seems to be sick and pushing through exams and studying hard, picking out costumes can be a great relief. But every year, there seems to be an issue with ignorant costumes. Halloween should be fun, not ignorant. Cultural appropriation is a sensitive issue when it comes to costumes every year. For example, there are other costumes like the lusty Native American maiden costume or Chief Long Arrow that are just distasteful. When picking our costumes this year, it would be best to steer away from those types of attire. This past September, a costume came out called Yandy Brave Red Maiden Costume, representing Hulu's hit show Handmaid's Tale. The show, based off Margaret Atwood's novel depicting a repressive society where women have no rights and are treated as walking wombs, is not a healthy costume choice. In fact, it's offensive. Many people take Halloween as an opportunity to dress offensively, risque, or ignorant, sometimes not realizing the damage it can do. The University of Pennsylvania student government tweeted, "Wear a culture, not a costume," to protest the use of derogatory and ignorant costumes for Halloween on campus, hoping to raise cultural awareness and inclusiveness. More campuses should enforce this rule of keeping costumes clean as UPenn has. More than likely, if you have to think about whether your costume is sexist or racist, it probably is. The best option is to dress as something else. Thank you for joining me for this week's editorial. I'm Megan Brooks. Let's send it back over to Alexia and Chris.
Thanks, Megan. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Authorities have intercepted multiple suspicious packages intended for former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Hillary Clinton, along with a handful of other top political figures. Authorities believe that these incidents are connected. The United States Secret Service said in a statement that the packages were immediately identified during routine mail screening procedures as potential explosive devices and were appropriately handled as such. Both packages were intercepted prior to being delivered to their intended location. The protectees did not receive the packages, nor were they at risk of receiving them. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said that violence is not the answer.
In these times, we have to unify. We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
These events also received a strong response from the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio.
What we saw here today was an effort to terrorize. This clearly is an act of terror attempting to undermine our free press and leaders of this country through acts of violence. I want to make very clear that the people of New York City will not be intimidated, that we are going to go about our lives undeterred, because the very concept of terrorism is to change us, and we will not allow that to happen. You cannot be terrorized if you refuse to allow the terrorists to win. People of this city have shown time and again that they stand up in the face of these efforts to intimidate.
The investigation into who is behind the mailing of these packages is still ongoing.
With the midterm elections just a few weeks away, many politicians are hitting the road. Former Vice President Joe Biden, Senators Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris, along with former President Barack Obama, are all out campaigning for Democrats across the country. Obama held an event campaigning for Democrats in Nevada, where he emphasizes to the audience the importance of this year's election.
November's elections are more important than any I can remember in my lifetime, and that includes when I was on the ballot. That's saying something. Politicians say every time, oh, this is the most important election. This one's really that important. The stakes are high. The consequences of anybody here not turning out and doing everything you can to get your friends, neighbors, family to turn out, the consequences of you staying home would be profoundly dangerous to this country, to our democracy.
Republicans are also on the campaign trail. President Trump, along with Vice President Mike Pence, have been giving speeches all across the country in an effort to fire up their base to get out to vote. Usual political theory says that the party in the White House loses in the midterms, but Trump is hoping that doesn't happen, hoping the tax cuts he passed a few months ago.
Republicans passed the biggest tax cut and reform in history with massive tax cuts for the middle class, and now we're adding 10% to those numbers. We're going to be putting in a 10% tax cut for middle-income families. It's going to be put in next week. 10% tax cut.
Joe Biden will be in Connecticut tomorrow as he is hosting an event at Trinity College where he will be campaigning for Connecticut Democrats, including Ned Lamont, Jahana Hayes, and Senator Chris Murphy.
The Mega Millions jackpot hit $1.5 billion this week. The person who purchased the winning ticket, sold in South Carolina, has yet to come forward. The chances of having the winning ticket were 1 in 302 million. You only have a 1 in 700,000 chance of getting struck by lightning. But if you missed out on this big payday, you still have a chance at winning big money. The Powerball jackpot is currently at $620 million, and the drawing for that takes place next Wednesday.
The 2018 World Series got underway earlier this week between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Boston Red Sox. Games 1 and 2 looked very similar as the Red Sox seemed to always be one step ahead of the Dodgers, winning both games 8-4 and then 4-2. The next game is the best in this best of 7 series takes place tomorrow at Dodger Stadium starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
We're going to take another quick break, but we'll be right back with Dom Conti and his sports update.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Congratulations, you just found Waldo and this week's sports update. I'm Dom Conti, let's get right into it. This past Saturday was senior day for the field hockey team, where they bid their farewell to senior defenders Stephanie Hogan and Allie Caruso, and midfielders Tess Parker and Aaron Sheehan. Let's take a look at the highlights from that battle against Keene State. volleyball team also took on a non-conference opponent in Albertus Magnus on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the Warriors doing what they do best. Anna Berry right there, that's the standout middle hitter for the Warriors. She's had a pretty good season. Not 2 Little East Rookie of the Week, not 3, but 4-time Conference Rookie of the Week. And that's Albertus Magnus knowing they have a tough matchup on their hands. Here we go. That's Elytra Long getting ready, line it up, and boom! Putting some mustard on that one. That's a kill for her. She finished with double-digit kills on the day. Still in the first set, Elytra Long. Now she's going to serve it. And, yep, that's a service ace for Elytra Long. The Warriors would win the first 2 sets in the match. Now in the third set, Elytra Long with the dig. Meg Verizzi passes it to the senior Carly Balskis, and that's too hot to handle. Carly Balskis also finished with double-digit kills, and here she goes to serve. Yep, she can do that too. That's the game-winning point right there. Warriors win it in 3 sets, a clean sweep. Their next game will be coming up against Southern Maine this Saturday. Director of Sports Broadcasting Alex Gabriel is at it again. His newest video on Inside Eastern Athletics features men's basketball coach Bill Geithner, point guard Jason Nunez, and some questions. Check this out.
Take me back to Geithner as a player. Hamilton College, 1987.
Oh boy.
What does a game of one-on-one look between you and me?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Yeah, I think that there's some similarities there. I mean, I think we were, both tough-minded. Defense. I couldn't score, so one-on-one I never really enjoyed. I needed guys I could pass to. So I'm not sure. I'd have to give you a step a little bit, a little quicker, especially if you were to play right now. I think it would be a good battle. We'd have fun.
Yeah, we would.
And that's going to do it for this week's Sports Update Halloween edition. Be sure to check out all things Eastern sports at GoWarriorAthletics.com. And also show some love for Alex Gabriel on his Instagram and YouTube page called Inside Eastern Athletics. I'm Dom Conti saying thanks for watching. Now let's send it back to Chris and Alexia.
Thanks, Dom. Before we go tonight, we would like to take a moment to thank one of the most valuable members of the ETV crew, our technical advisor and engineer, Paul Melmer, who is retiring after 17 years here at Eastern. Thank you, Paul, for all that you have done for us. We really appreciate it.
And that's it for this week's show. Thank you so much for joining us.
To keep up to date with all things ETV news, be sure to follow us on Instagram at ETV News _ and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And if you have any ideas for things that you'd like to see on the show, email us at etv@myeasternct.edu. I'm Alexia Muniz.
And I'm Chris Pagano. We'll see you next week, Eastern.